Welcome back to the channel, guys. We are finally, hopefully, gonna be able to get the Wagon R started today. And
today, Wagon R.
Oh my gosh, May, stop it. But I don't know if you can tell, looking at the ground, I've left this here for like this whole entire week because I kind of gave up on it and got really angry and frustrated at it. So I just kind of left it as a mess. But you can see my other wheel is in there with a different trigger and everything. Well, yep, it's a lot harder to center those wheels and get them perfect without a lathe. So that didn't work, and I got to take that off and use a different trigger wheel. Now, luckily this engine is in a ton of different Kei cars over here, including the Suzuki Jimny, and they use a different wheel with the same engine that has different spacing. So if we have a look at this front pulley, it's identical to this, except there are only minus two sections. So minus 2 teeth here and minus 2 teeth here, compared to this one, which is -1, -2, -1. So this doesn't exist currently in Link software. It'll get added at some point in the future, hopefully. This apparently does exist. And yeah, I didn't know about it until after I exhausted everything else and even tried putting a different wheel and everything on there. Anyways, it was a nightmare. But we're gonna change back to this one now that came off, I think, a Suzuki Jimny. We're gonna put this in and hopefully we're good. Apparently this is also the same trigger setup that's on May's Swift. So that's a win.
Did you take it off my car?
No, but I was thinking about doing it. I just didn't know if the crank nose was gonna be the same. Anyways, it's actually very complicated to get this off. I have to undo an engine mount, lower the engine just to get to the crank pulley bolt. It's a whole ordeal. So I'm gonna get this out real quick. Also, we're filming on an iPhone. I wanted to try vlogging with this because I'm thinking of going completely back to Apple ecosystem for vlogging and all that type of stuff, emails, a MacBook for traveling, because I'm just so sick of carrying around my Razer battery pack. And every time I plug it into the freaking airplane seat thing, I take out the whole row of seats because it draws 300 watts. It has like a RTX 3070 Ti in it. So, you know, it is what it is. But also, yeah, I think it might be time to just go back to the Apple ecosystem for that whole thing. I don't want to, like, I'm pro PC, I'm pro Mac for each. I don't want to start a Mac versus PC war in the comment section, but I also know it's going to happen and it's inevitable. But there's a place for everything, and I like both, so get used to it. Please don't take that the wrong way. Pulley time, let's go. Father, forgive them, for they did not know that they could get a free Garrett Turbo when placing an order on SAMMIT.net. Yes, guys, that's right. We are giving away over $50,000 worth of Garrett products every single day. We pick a random person's order from that day and we throw in one of these Garrett boxes. You're either gonna get a wastegate, a blow-off valve, or a Garrett turbocharger, complete turbocharger. Go to SAMMIT.net and place your order right now. Link is in the description. Let's get back to the video.
The problem about these cars is the space to work on it, right?
Yeah, and also just, they're mounted not this way, they're this way, so everything's like pressed either against the firewall or the side frame of the car. It's not fun.
Just so you guys know how big the engine is, this is my hand.
May, I don't think they even know how big your hand is, just to be fair.
Well, it's a decent Asian woman's hand size, all right?
I never want to change an alternator on this. The alternator is on the back of the engine, pressed against the firewall.
So you got to pull everything out to do it.
I'm sure there's a way to do it, but it may be take the intake manifold off.
It's even so hard to frame this on camera because it's in such a weird spot.
There's no room anywhere. Whose idea was it to work on this again?
Suzuki-san.
I think Suzuki-san from Monster Sport. No, it's fine. I can't wait to show this to him. He doesn't know we built this, right? So we're gonna take it to Suzuki-san, the owner of Monster Sport, and we're gonna show him this. It's gonna be on a Link ECU, it's gonna be supercharged, and he's just gonna be like, what the hell? It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
It should just be a notch in the panel, in the side frame.
We can make a door that you can open.
Yeah, that would be actually amazing. Got it off. I love that.
Okay, the real question is, well, how are you gonna put it back on?
Huh? You just slide it in.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, this was a complete fail. Note to self, if ever you want to put a trigger wheel on any harmonic balancer, don't weld all the way around it, that warps it. And two, so you only want to do like a tack here, tack there, tack there, tack there kind of thing. And you also have to use a lathe, apparently. That's the only way to get these things properly centered. So there you go. I wasted $200 on a trigger wheel. Wish I could get that back. Anyways.
A few moments later.
I think we are all done here, guys. Now, if everything goes according to plan, I should be able to check the trigger scope, match it up to a profile, and this thing should be running for the first time today. Fingers crossed, and then we just have to set up the VVT. We should be good to go. Another thing is I changed to the Link Monsoon, which is the next level up from the Atom, and that is purely so that we can control VVT. It's pretty much the same ECU, just a couple more inputs and outputs plus VVT control, which is super important. Still under our budget. This entire car, we bought the car from auctions for $400, had a bad engine in it. We bought a new engine from Yahoo Auctions for $140, switched it all out ourselves. We've done pretty much all the work ourselves, and the car is well under $2,000 right now, even with the ECU. So we are winning. And also even with the VSKFs, which is mind-blowing how cheap those were. Anyways, let's see what we can do. Let's get the computer out and do some things. The hell?
We just unlocked something.
The hell? Stop. And now it doesn't want to work. Go again.
No matter what kind of car it is, first start is always exciting. Come have a look.
Did it make a mess? Where did the water come from?
I don't know.
How is that even possible? Is that just all sitting in there from the blown old engine?
I guess. Yeah. That's why I was like, why is there a hole in an intake manifold?
IoT sensor. Putting in the Link one. Because this, no bueno, man. No bueno. This guy, one of those like little rubber grommet ones that just sits in the intake. We're putting one in the actual intake manifold. And baby, this goes in there. Thread that. I do not care about any plastic shavings going in because, yeah, they'll just make their way through the engine. It'll be fine.
What comes in, comes out.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully.
Plastic.
Hopefully. This is the funniest view. Look how low that is.
Oh, the car?
Yes.
You're not wrong.
You know, I saw you laying down here. You're as long as the car.
That may be the easiest tap I've ever had to do for an IAT sensor just because it's flat. So good. All right, let's put some fuel on this and send it home. Well, obviously the car runs now. We've made a big mess at the back, but everything's done. I just spent a little bit of time putting the wideband sensor in this, so we've got the CAN Lambda wired up. I've also put in the Link branded IAT sensor and everything. So we're pretty much good to go now. I'm still like kind of mind blown about how all of this and how it's come together. I literally thought, even though I put this other pulley on, that it still wasn't gonna work, but it turns out it does. If you guys ever want to tune these engines, just be careful and get the front pulley with the trigger wheel on it. That is from the Jimny, or some older versions of this had the same one. Whichever, as long as it's like the 36, I think it's 36 or 32, 36 maybe, -2, -2. You need that one, the same one that's on the Swift. the ZC32 Swift. Anyways, or the Suzuki Jimny. Anyways, it's working. It's freaking working. So the best thing is we get to start tuning this and going out on the street, driving it, and getting this thing done. Main goal for this car is one, I wanted to start messing around with Kei cars and grip racing and the endurance race up north, as well as it's a good platform for me to really just practice and get confidence in tuning and stuff like that.
Because you can blow the engine.
Exactly, I can blow the engine, it's only $100 to replace, like 120, 140 bucks to put a new motor in. And we can experiment with it, I can do all that kind of stuff and just really dial in my tuning skills with Link and all that type of stuff. So that's also like one of the main reasons. So I'm pretty excited to mess around with something that I don't care about if it blows up. And it's street legal, so I can go around and drive this thing, rip on it, and just have an all-around good time.
So what did you do?
What did I do? I wired in the Link can Lambda. Got the new IoT sensor, and I just sent it home into the plastic intake manifold. If you have a look under here, you can see the wideband sensor. This is the old one, the old O2 sensor here, this little guy. But if you look under there, you can see the fresh boy. Ooh, a little further down. There she is, right there. So she's all in there, tucked away. Should be mint. Should be real mint. Take all my tools out. This car will finally move. The question is will it start now that I've connected everything up? I need to probably turn on at least. I wonder how rich it's running. Oh, I gotta get in the car for this stupid clutch pedal button thing.
Oh my god. That was like a 0.5 second. Yeah.
The only problem is because we changed the trigger wheel, none of the stuff inside works now. Like the RPM doesn't work or anything like that. And that was the whole reason why I wanted to keep the OEM ECU kind of being a piggyback setup.
Right.
But because we had to get rid of and change the trigger wheel, it's not gonna work. So I guess digital dash time? I don't know, we'll figure something out. It's way too rich right now.
Oh yeah. We're gonna die in here soon. Carbon dioxide.
Oh yeah, she's super rich. So we'll take the fueling, we'll change the fueling around.
Oh yeah, way better. Way better.
Just taking more and more fuel out.
Oh yay! Yeah, it stopped smoking.
Yeah, because it's like storage now.
Is it supposed to be smoking that much?
How much is it smoking?
When you rev. Okay, now it's fine. Can you draw? Oh, you drew a cat. You drew a cat. That was a cat.
All right, it's time to go for a little drive. Let's turn logging on and we'll try to log this a little bit. We're gonna have to sort out idle control. I might have to get an aftermarket idle control valve. And then the other issue is the electric power steering isn't working right now because we've changed the crank pulley and it has a different trigger on there. So the stock ECU just isn't seeing the engine running, which is why like my RPMs aren't working. And I was hoping that somehow it would work with the other one, the other pulley, because that way that would work and the stock ECU would look after, you know, the IAC and everything else that's going on. But unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna get that. So no power steering, which is electric anyway, so it's all good. Let's go for a little drive and see if it works. So far so good. Dude, the turning radius on this is actually amazing. This thing is actually stupid fast. What the hell? This thing rips! My God, it's definitely really rich right now. But this thing rips! Coilovers feel good too. What the hell, man? The good news is I just noticed the speedo works, so that's great. We just need to figure out if we can get the RPM to work and the electric steering. I'm sure we can bypass that and it'll start working. Also, it's so loud. The Supercharger makes this thing crazy loud. It'd be cool if we could quieten it down a little, but I don't know if that's possible. My first impressions are pretty awesome. We've got higher IATs. I need to look at that in the logs when we're actually driving if it goes down a bit. So we still might have the issue where it's pumping too much hot air into the engine. But this thing rips. It's so much faster than it used to be. Actually awesome. And I know there's a lot more in there. We could also put a smaller pulley on it, but it's making decent boost. It's making at least 0.6 to 0.7, maybe more. We'll look in the logs when we're done. I'm pretty impressed. Like, I'm really stoked on this and how it's turning out. I really want to take this to Monster Sport or BR. I think they have a dyno in there. It'd be kind of cool. We'll head back to the shop. Monster Sport's just there. I've got to say, I'm super impressed right now at this thing. Like, really impressed. I think we definitely need to dial in the tune a bit, but the fact that I've been able to, like, you know, kind of set this up with self-learning and stuff like that for now, we'll start dialing this in, getting it feeling good. I still hate the fact of how loud this thing is. I got to disconnect the radiator fan because some reason that wasn't turning on, probably to do with the fact that the CAN bus isn't seeing, you know, the trigger. So for now, I'm just connecting that up manually. But yeah, I gotta say, I'm really impressed. Really impressed by this. I think this is gonna be a really good track car. Lighten it up. We'll dial it in a bunch. I mean, it's only going to be good for a track car eventually. Once the shotgun runs out, there's no way I could probably renew it with how loud the Supercharger is. I don't even know how I could go about making that quieter. It just sounds so loud. Maybe I could just get a bunch of stuff from the Subaru Pleo and just kind of like change the intake system to match that, because I believe the sound is mainly coming out of the intake. But yeah, anyways, I'm stoked. I'm going to spend a bit of time on this. I'm going to look at the IAT situation. I probably need to put a way bigger intercooler on this, but I put the small one on there for now as more of like a proof of concept. And if we put and pipe a smaller, bigger one in the front, I think that'll fix a lot of our IAT issues. But anyways, I think this has been a great success so far. It's the next day, guys, and look who is in the passenger seat. It's Tuning Wifey-chan. And
This has been a long time since I've been passenger with the Link ECU management software.
It has been a while. You can barely see it, but we're going to do some drives. I want May's reaction, so we're going to have a bit of fun.
I noticed the trigger mode is Suzuki Swift ZC32S.
Yep, which is your car.
Literally.
Yep, it's got the same trigger setup as that pretty much. So a few things have changed. I've got VVT working now, so this thing should actually make a bunch more torque and feel a lot more peppier. I've had to change the limiter so that it's not revving to 8,300 RPM anymore, and that's purely because we've run out of injector. This thing's making 0.8 bar of boost. So we're gonna go for a little bit of a drive and just kind of see what May thinks of it and see how the thing handles now that it's a little bit more dialed. Excited?
Yeah, 8 bar.
0.8.
Oh, okay.
8 bar is like
Off to the moon.
Yeah, no, that's launching a rocket. All right. Still no power steering either, by the way.
Is it heavy?
This thing is making way more power than yesterday. It's bucking a lot though.
Don't do it here!
I'm not trying to.
You gotta control that.
It's bucking so much. I need to probably dial in the VVT a bit more. It kind of goes hard now. It goes real hard now. Do you think it's a little loud?
Too loud.
Also, I apologize, there's no aircon. Most of my cars have aircon, but this is a race car, so.
This is one thing you promised me when you married me, was that all the air cons would have, all the cars would have air cons.
Oh dude, it's so sweaty, my hair is sticking everywhere. Oh gosh.
Steamy.
It's very steamy. Alright, here we go, ready? real smooth.
Yeah, that was really smooth.
What the hell? This thing's great. I have to admit though, this is going way too good for like its first official drive. For a second there, I was like, wait, is the trunk
Open?
closed or open? Yeah, this thing rips.
It's good. Yeah, I can hear him.
Imagine rocking up to a drag race with this thing and just revving next to someone, like, they're gonna laugh at you. I mean, bear in mind, this thing ain't beating anything except other K cars probably. 660cc is nothing to...
Yeah, the vlogging.
The AFRs are pretty good. We're like 11.8.
Yeah.
I'll probably make it a little richer. I want like 11.2 on boost. But yeah, we just need some bigger injectors. IATs are crazy high. Once we get a bigger intercooler, that'll be much nicer. I imagine though too, like, it'll probably be a lot better when there's some airflow going through it, but it is a top mount, little tiny intercooler, so we need to move that and just put a bigger one in. Put a little bigger one in the front. That'll make things way better. And then I think I'm gonna do the meth, like the water meth injection, in front of the supercharger, so it helps cool the supercharger as well. And I think that'll make this thing last the endurance race. Just a few little things like that. I mean, I could also run it on ethanol, but I don't know, like, it's a 3-hour endurance race. We're gonna go through that ethanol pretty quick. And the driver change and fuel change and tire changes, because like you have to change your front tires at least once in the race, and you have to top up your fuel at least once. If we change to ethanol, that could mean that we have to fill up twice, and that means more time off the track and doing less laps. The goal is to do as many laps as possible and beat the other teams.
Yeah.
And we have to do at least 3 driver changes. And during those time, we gas up or change front tires too. So yeah, we gotta be mindful. So maybe just stick to high octane, but use a water meth injection kit that we just in the back have a little tank, and we just top up with 1 bottle while we're doing a driver change. And then change the tires once and fill it with gas once. I think that's what we'll do. We'll see. There's a few things we can mess around with.
Oh man, I can't change it.
Anti-lag?
Yeah.
No, mate. No. I don't have any of that stuff in A-order. Look at this. My hair is drenched.
You look like Machine Gun Kelly.
I don't know how I did this when I was younger in Queensland, Australia. All my cars didn't have AC initially. But I feel like it was cooler then. I don't know.
You're saying that it's too loud, but I think your RB has a different loudness and a thickness to the sound. I don't think it's that bad.
This sounds like a toy car that you wind up.
Yeah, it does. But it's not as loud as the Skyline.
It just sounds weird, I think, because you don't hear the exhaust. You only hear like the blow-off valve hissing and the whine of the supercharger. So it's kind of weird.
Look, this is literally one of our back rows near the shop. Oh my god! Oh my god!
This thing rips! It seriously rips! I love it so much.
I kind of want to drive in the endurance race now.
Wait till I get like new injectors and we turn the boost up. This thing's gonna be a weapon. And we lighten the car. We get power steering working. I get the VVT more dialed on the dyno. This thing's gonna be mint. No one's gonna know what's coming. But then again, there's other turbo cars in the series that are way faster than this. But we're gonna have fun. This thing's gonna be great.
Are you gonna put whiskers on the front?
Probably. I think it'll be funny. But that may mess with my aerodynamics, you know. We want this thing to be fast. I'm joking.
It's about all the purrs, Sam.
All the horse purrs. You need them all.
Yes.
I think this is awesome. I watched the outside clips that May filmed, and this thing sounds insane and very just like It's ignorant and it's just fun. It reminds me of what we used to do back, like with just cheap, crappy cars, right? And this thing actually makes pretty decent power now. It feels really peppy. I can't imagine how much better this is going to feel when we actually get to dial it in properly on the dyno, the bigger supercharger pulley and stuff. I think this is going to be really fun. And then making the car lighter everywhere, I think is going to really help. And then also these. We got Advan A050s, I think they are. These things are going to be great. A050. These things are going to be so grippy. The car's going to feel like it's glued to the ground. I'm taking every seat out, every carpet. We're putting one loop bar in here behind me. It's going to have a proper racing bucket. We'll have to figure out some kind of better steering wheel setup. But this thing's going to be awesome. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun just getting this thing dialed in and getting into some endurance racing. And then obviously like just the engine stuff too. Like I was talking about water meth injection and stuff. It'll be good. Anyways, that's my rant over. I'm really excited about this project. I know some of you guys aren't interested in this stuff, but obviously I am, because this is a stepping stone to being able to tune and mess around with way more expensive cars. And I'm learning so much from this, and that's the main goal.
And you haven't blown an engine while tuning.
No, I haven't. Not yet, anyways. If I keep driving it like I have been, I probably will. But luckily, our AFR's the worst they're getting at 0.8 bar is like 13s now. It's still too lean. I really want it to be around 11s, but just for those 2 or 3 pulls, it'll be fine. It wasn't detonating. There's nothing on the logs, so it should be good. But anyways, with some bigger injectors, we'll make a few other changes, dial this thing in, and it's going to be mint. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Let us know in the comment section about shooting with an iPhone. This whole entire vlog has been shot with an iPhone, so I'm curious. And yeah, maybe there's room for improvement. Maybe this is the future. I don't know. We'll see. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Peace.
He said, son, when you grow up, would you be the savior of the broken, the beaten, and the damned? He said, will you defeat them, your demons?